Let's continue our closer look at arrangement view and learn how to zoom in and out and make selections on a track. So I've got exercise 1 from chapter 3 open if you want to follow along. And I want to start by talking a little bit about how the cursor in Ableton changes dynamically based upon where you place it. So we don't have different tools that we can select because they're always all available on our cursor. So to help with this, I'm going to increase the track height on one of my tracks. So let me go over here and click, and I'm going to drag down to do that. And now I'm going to start by moving my cursor up into the ruler, and notice that we see a zoom shape. If I go a little bit lower, just below the ruler, you'll see that it turns into a speaker shape. And then if I hover it over or around a clip, we're going to see a number of different things. First of all, if I'm up in the title bar of a clip, you'll see that we get the grabber shape. In the bottom half of the clip, we get a pointer shape. And then if I go over on the right edge of the title bar, you'll see that I'll get a trim cursor on both edges of the clip. So the first thing I want to do is I want to just select a clip. So if I go up in the title bar with the hand tool or grabber tool, I can click and I can select a clip. If I want to extend that to another clip, I can just hold down my shift key and click the title bar of that other clip. Now, if I want to select all of the clips on a track or all the content on a track, I can do that by going over in the track header below the title bar and just right-clicking, and then in the contextual menu, we have an option here for select track content. This is one I wish there was a quick key for. And now we see that all of the clips on the track are selected. Now, if you want to select a single point on the track for maybe for playback or to start a selection, please note that you can't do that up in the title bar area. You have to move your cursor lower. So now I can click anywhere on the track, whether it's in an empty area or whether it's at the beginning of a clip or whether it's in the middle of a clip. Now, you will notice that wherever I'm clicking, it's snapping onto the grid. And the grid is determined, or at least the grid amount is shown down here in the lower right-hand corner of Arrange View. And you can change that by right-clicking anywhere in Arrange View and choosing a value here from the fixed grid area. So for example, if I choose a half note, we'll see that we've got twice as many grid lines. Now let me back that back out to one measure. By the way, you can also choose off if you want to. And this is going to be something that we're going to go in depth in a later video, so I won't spend too much time on that now. All right, so if I want to make a selection that doesn't include an entire clip, I can select a partial clip by clicking somewhere in that clip and then clicking and dragging, as long as I'm not up in the title area. Now, if I hold the shift key down, I can click and I can extend that selection either direction or shorten it. I can also move my cursor around on a track. If I click and put my cursor there, I can move it around using the arrow keys. So if I press my right arrow key, it's going to move by the grid amount later in the set. And if I press my left arrow key, it's going to move earlier. And if I hold down Option and press the right arrow, it's going to move by locator or by the entire clip. And so those lines you see going down from the flags up top, those are locators. And otherwise you see that that's moving big chunks at a time. Now we can do the same thing to make selections. So if I place my cursor there and then hold down Shift and I go right arrow, I can extend that into a selection. And if I go with my left arrow, it will shorten the selection. All right, let's talk a little bit about zooming in and out. So a couple fast ways we can do that include moving our cursor up into the ruler, and then wherever kind of area you pick to zoom, you're going to just click and hold and then drag down to zoom around that point, and then drag up to zoom back out. Now, if you're zoomed in and you want to move to the right or left, you can again click and hold, but this time drag right to go right or left to go left. Another way we can zoom in and out, and this is the way I use probably the most, is I will click anywhere on a track in the arrangement where I want to zoom in, and then I'll use my plus and minus keys either on the numpad area of a keyboard or in the QWERTY area of the keyboard. And please note that you don't need to hold down Shift. It's just find the plus and minus keys. So here is the plus in the QWERTY area and the minus in the QWERTY area, and here is over on my numpad. So you'll see that I'm zooming in and out around that selection. All right, now if I want to make a selection and then have that fill the screen, let's say I select this clip and I want to see this clip fill the entire arrange area. Well, I'm going to press my Z key to do that. Now, once I've pressed it once, if I want to make the track height expand, I'll press Z again. So that's filling both directions, both vertically and horizontally. If I press Z one more time, it'll take me back to the original track height. And if I want to go back out to the original zoom level, I'll press X to do that. So let's say I'm zoomed in and I want to go all the way back out so I see the entire arrangement here. So we have a new button up here with Ableton 10 actually, and it's this W button. And if I click that one, I can zoom the area so that I see the entire live set. And we can do that by clicking the W button, or we can do it by a quick key, and that would just be the W key on your keyboard. So again, if I zoom way in and then I want to go all the way back out, all I've got to do is click on W or press W, and I can see the entire session size to the arrange window. All right. Other times you may want your cursor to go all the way to the beginning of the live set. Just note all you need to do is click your stop button to do that. You can also do the same thing by pressing your home key if you've got one on your computer keyboard. So I'll press home to go to the beginning, and you can see my cursor over here at the beginning. And you can press end to go to the end of your live set. All right, so now we're familiar with how to navigate, zoom in and out, and make selections in Arrangement View. Join me in the next video where we'll discuss how to control playback.